Hey guys, my name's James.
And I'm Ashley.
Last year we sold our house and we're traveling across the country with our kids.
Hi, my name's Goose, and this is Maverick. Come join us!
What's up guys? After 2 weeks in Moab, we have officially reached that point. This is the inevitable dirt bike vlog. Super excited to go out for a ride today. I actually met my neighbors a couple days ago. A super fun family. They have a little girl who's just a little bit younger than Maverick, and he rides bikes as well. As you can see, he's got a KTM right there. So we are heading out from the Willsprings BLM land, going out to the trails in between the Willsprings and Arches. There's a whole bunch of dirt bike as well as mountain bike trails out here. Riding in Moab is like something I've never done before. The terrain is so different and unique. It's a combination of Arizona and New Mexico and all the different places I've ridden in one. Not to mention the cliffs and the rocks are just completely unique. So after cruising around for a little bit, we finally found the trail that we wanted. We were looking for some of the single track because there's a whole bunch of Jeep trails out there, but some of my favorite stuff to ride on is single track, which is designed specifically for dirt bikes or mountain bikes. And I'm just gonna flat out say it right here. He is way better at riding than I am, which you guys will see as we move on. But I always love riding with people better than me because it pushes me beyond my limits, which is really the only way you're gonna grow. But not gonna lie, in moments like that where he had to stop and wait for me, a little embarrassing. But I made it. I got up. So this is what I'm talking about. Super unique and rocky terrain. It's a combination of sand and slick rock that you're riding on. And I said it before, but GoPro doesn't do it justice. These rocks that we're going over are intense. This is by far the most technical terrain I have ever ridden on. So crazy, but I loved it. It pushed me beyond my limits. I loved it even though, as you'll find out later on, I hurt myself quite bad and I'm still recovering from it a month later. Look at this. It looks like nothing on the camera, but this is some intense, amazing stuff. While I've got you guys' ears, I figured we could talk a little bit about RV life in general. RV life is amazing, but I don't want it to ever feel like it's all sunshine and roses and every day is going out for a dirt bike ride and an adventure. RV life is tough and it takes work, but if it is something you guys are interested in, and if you have any questions about it, always feel free to ask me down below and I'll try and answer as honestly as possible. But it's moments like this that I do love the RV life. The ability to go out and do stuff like this. Riding dirt bikes in Moab has been on my bucket list for years before I even thought about traveling in an RV. And now that we're doing this RV life, it has made it a possibility. So amazing. Look at this terrain. It is crazy. We're going through some of these rocks that are so intense. I would have never imagined a year ago that I would ever be able to do this. This slick rock is so fun. This is some of the stuff that is like quintessential Moab, riding on this slick rock. So for those of you that don't know, I am riding on a YZ250f. It's a 2008, and I believe his is a 200, a KTM, something like that. Maybe it's a 180. I don't really know how KTMs work, but it was smaller than I thought. It's a pretty light, little, nimble bike. But as you can see, he can maneuver that thing like a beast. And of course I killed it, but take two, we'll make it happen. Come on. Oh man, this stuff is crazy. Yeah. Oh, this stuff is intense. I love it. I so bad so badly want to go back out for another ride. But as you guys will find out soon, I can't. Oh, that little wheelie. I love it. Popping the little wheelies off things like that gives you such a feeling, such a rush. It's like, I don't know why I love it, but I just love popping wheelies when you can like that off little rocks. It's like a little miniature jump.
Woo!
So I know one of the questions that we get a lot in our videos is how do we support this lifestyle? So if you guys have any other questions along those lines or other things, video topics you would love for us to touch on, let me know down below in the comments, because we're always looking for good video ideas. And one of the videos we do want to do in the future is kind of laying out how we do support ourselves, where we get income from, as well as you know, what it costs to do this kind of lifestyle. Obviously you can do this lifestyle on the cheap and boondock everywhere, not pay for any sort of entertainment, so you can be extremely frugal. But if you guys have any other questions or ideas for videos, let me know down below. Oh, I love these cliff faces. It's so sketchy going down some of these hills, being 6 inches or a foot from a cliff. Like I said, this is unlike anything I've ever ridden before, going down these steep declines. It's crazy. I also love going out riding with other people. It's such a different vibe, not only while you're out there, but just for the video itself, being able to see the actual rider in front of me ride and how he's going about the terrain. It actually kind of teaches me how I should change the things I'm doing, or like, oh, I should be standing more, or squeezing more, or doing this kind of thing. So I love riding with other people or in groups versus by myself. So much more fun. By the way, if you couldn't tell, his is a little two-stroke, so he zips off in front of me all the time like that. As I said, he's a far better rider than I am. Oh, here it is. This is the embarrassing part. On the cliff. Oh no. Oh. And my rear end is sliding off the edge of the cliff. So I get off and I walk it. But better that than falling down a ravine. By the way, this is a condensed version. We went out riding for about 3 hours, so I took 3 hours of footage and brought it down to about 20 minutes.
My bike, I don't know if it's the spark plugs or what, but sometimes it's a pain in the butt to start. So I think I need to do something with that. But nothing's worse than getting stuck and then not being able to start your bike.
Alright, what you're about to see here was probably one of the most mentally difficult things I've done. Oh, and there it is. As I say, on camera it doesn't look like much, but that's about a, 10 foot, 15 foot wall that we're basically going up. Biggest thing I have ever climbed before, and I just didn't. I got nervous and I didn't push it enough. And the whole thing about climbing these kind of inclines is having the confidence and just going for it, because if you go too slow or you second guess yourself, you're not going to make it up. You just have to go for it. It's like, not as it's cliche, but it literally is 90% mental. So on this next run, I just went for it as much as I could, and it made a complete difference. Look at that, it looks like nothing.
Woo!
And then he does it, no problem. And of course he made it look so easy that we had to have him do it a second time. So I busted out the drone so you can guys get it from a different angle. He makes it look so stinking easy. It's embarrassing. Seriously, watching this terrain back makes me so badly want to get out there and hit these trails again, because it's unlike anything I've ever ridden before. So now we're on to some of the wider tracks. As you can see, this is an area where both side-by-sides and Jeeps can come out here. So we've kind of lost the single track. So we're searching around, trying to find some single track to get back onto. Because whereas this is fun, it's just, it doesn't give you that unique Moab experience. It's just more open, almost like forest roads, Jeep roads you could call them. Not to downplay what Jeeps can do, because there are some extremely technical Jeep trails. This just isn't one of them. There we go, back to the single track, up the side of a mountain. This is probably, if I remember right, one of the sketchiest portions of the ride, where there's a 30-foot drop on the left within, 6 inches to a foot sometimes. Look at that, like right there. This is some rough, rocky terrain right on the cliffside. I'm working that bike so hard.
Trails like that where it's rough right on the edge, they get to me.
So we're trying to figure out where we're going, because we're basing it off of the GPS that he has on his phone, but it's a
is this a dirt bike or a?
It's actually a mountain bike app, so it's hard to differentiate which trails are designated for mountain bikes and dirt bikes. Even though you can do both on all of them, there are certain trails that are better for dirt bikes versus mountain bikes. Come on. Okay, now this trail in particular, I was like, oh man, did he really go up there? Because there was an easy track to the left, but he went up to the right on this insanely technical trail. Like, look at this, there's boulders on my right. He's even getting stuck in front of me. There's no room to turn around. This was a little sketchy, but I'm like, you know what? That's why I like to go with people better than me, because they push me to be better myself. And if he gets stuck, that makes me feel better about myself. Come on. There it is. These descents are crazy. Look at them dropping down, just disappearing. That's insane. I really wish I could bring you guys all along with me so you could see how intense these trails are.
Woo! That was intense.
So one of the things that I try and cut out a lot of, like I said, we were out here for like 3 hours, is we do take breaks. It's not like we're going non-stop. Every 20 or 30 minutes or whatever, we'll sit and hang out and relax for a few minutes, drink some water, eat some bars, and kind of refuel with energy, because it is exhausting riding. It is a full body, intense workout. I am so thankful that it was only about 60 degrees out, so we weren't completely sweating to death. I was still sweaty, but I cannot imagine being out here in the summertime when it's 100 degrees. It would be pretty miserable. So I think this is a great time of the year to come out to Moab and ride these trails, is around October, which is when we were here. So So I tried to leave a variety of trails in here to show you kind of what this has to offer. Not all of it is riding on slick rock, not all of it is riding on Jeep sand trails. Some of it is more open, some of it's ascending and descending. There is such a variety of trails out there. I tried to leave it all in. And that is when it happened. That looked like nothing. My first crash looked like way more. But that is when I did something massive to my wrist. You can tell if I'm not getting up and picking up my bike right away and just letting it lay on the ground that I am not feeling well, because I always try and get my bike picked back up. But my wrist is throbbing. And I'll have to say, literally a month later, I still don't have full mobility and full range back in my wrist. But after sitting there for a little bit, there was nothing I could do. I had to get back on the bike, but I literally have zero grip strength. My left hand is kind of just resting on the bike. Unfortunately, my left hand is my clutch hand, so I have to use it to ride the clutch. Those of you that have never ridden a dirt bike before, you use your clutch a lot, like non-stop.
So that's definitely the most direct route, but it's just a really crazy hill? Is that what it is?
Because it's dual purpose, I just think like they don't, like mountain bikers might not want to climb the hill.
All right, I'm gonna go look at it and see.
Okay.
That is the direction we want to go, so is it look like that's the most direct route?
It does. I mean, it looks shortest, but I mean, like, I think it's this one here, and then that's the connector.
So
right
we're going
there.
backwards on that?
Yeah, we're going backwards. This is a mountain bike app, remember that. So they like riding downhill more than uphill. So they say...
I mean, we can go that way, and if I think it's too insane, we can turn around, but I would prefer the shortest route, but
yeah,
I guess
that's the shortest.
That's not always the easiest.
Instead of adding the connector and then doing that looks a lot shorter.
Okay.
And if it is kind
So if you guys couldn't tell from that conversation, we're obviously trying to find the easiest, most direct route back. Unfortunately, the easier route was the longer route, so I was in so much pain. I'm like, let's just go the most direct route back and make it happen. And if I can't make it up or do whatever terrain there is, we can turn around, but I just wanted to get back. The thing that sucks is we were literally at like the peak of the trail. We had just turned around and started heading back out, so we were as far away from base camp as we possibly could be when I fell and hit my wrist. And now I'm doing all of this. Oh, that hill, that climb was intense. I can't believe I made it up. But as you can see, I killed the bike and I just sit there because my hand is killing me. I've got no strength in that hand. So now we get to the point in the trail where we saw saying, this is why you don't want to go this way. This hill is by far the biggest hill we've gone up. You can see him right there trying to make the corner. And I'm just like, all right, I'm going for it. Worst case scenario, I walk the bike up. You do this hairpin turn, and then immediately another hairpin turn back while climbing. So close, so close. Actually way better than I thought I was gonna do.
I think if I wouldn't have had my wrist crap, I might have had a chance.
Take two. Walk it up if you have to. No shame in it. As you can see, I'm straight up walking it. Like I don't have the strength right now to stand up. So as much as I can, I'm sitting down. All right, and we finally found the 4x4 trail after riding for an extended period of time. And this trail will theoretically bring us all the way back home. And it may not look it, but it's way easier. Back on the nice soft sand, wide open trails, no ascents or descents, just a nice road all the way back. So let this be a lesson to you. Never go out riding alone, because I would have been screwed if I was out there alone. I could have had a way worse injury. And if you do go out riding alone, make sure you're in an area that has reception and you have your phone. If you guys like this video, let me know down below in the comments if you want to see more of this style dirt bike video. If you hated it, also let me know. But until next time, guys, remember, stay positive. Even if you fall down and mess up your wrist, get out there. Life is an adventure, so make some memories.